AP Sen invited me to his home in Nagpur and said, well, there is a distinction between the life of a lawyer and the life of a judge. A judge always leaves footprints in the sand, on the sand, and those footprints are the written word which you have crafted. But he said the lawyers, however eminent, the brilliance of their argument is lost to future generations. When I was invited to become a judge of the High Court in 1998, I consulted a lot of very learned people because I was not very sure whether I should accept the offer. And one of those very learned people in our profession I consulted with Justice AP Sen, who wrote the famous ADM Jabalpur judgment. And Justice AP Sen invited me to his home in Nagpur and said, well, there is a distinction between the life of a lawyer and the life of a judge. He said, a judge always leaves footprints in the sand, on the sand, and those footprints are the written word which you have crafted. But he said the lawyers, however eminent, the brilliance of their argument is lost to future generations. So he says, please decide whether or not to accept judgeship based on what you want to be 20 or 25 years down the line. But perhaps Justice AP Sen did not have the benefit of modern technology. Because today, the transcripts of legal argument that we are presenting will be an eternal resource of what brilliant legal minds argued in the courts. See how it is transforming the face of our judiciary. No longer will the output of the Indian judiciary be judged by what is written in judgments, but equally by the contributors to those judgments in terms of the innovative arguments which they make. So the lawyer's argument, the lawyer's personality, the turn of phrase, the heat, the dust, and of course the camaraderie in courts can now be all incorporated in this virtual world that we live in. Beyond transparency, the facility of hybrid hearings also plays a vital role in increasing access to justice. A classic example of this, as Brother Suryakant mentioned, is a special Lok Adalat organized by the Supreme Court last week. Through this initiative, we successfully disposed of over 1,000 pending cases, bringing relief to litigants who had been waiting for several years in areas as diverse as land acquisition, service, consumer protection, civil, motor accident claims, check dishonor cases, across the spectrum. A Lok Adalat of this scale would not have been possible without the assistance of technology. And even after the Lok Adalat got over last week, we are still dealing with the remnants of the cases which were almost settled, where you have on the large video conferencing screen district legal services authorities from all over the country, right from Meghalaya to Assam to Kerala, Tamil Nadu, you just name the DLSA, Punjab and Haryana, you have DLSAs across the country which are assisting us. Members of the DLSAs, litigants and lawyers from all corners of the country, from remote villages to metropolitan cities, participated effortlessly, courtesy of the hybrid hearing facility. This not only enhanced efficiency but also promoted equity and accessibility. Litigants and lawyers did not have to endure lengthy travels, saving time, money and resources, and thereby realizing the core objectives of the Lok Adalat. And I would like to publicly acknowledge the wonderful work and almost dedicated work with a single-minded purpose which was rendered by my very distinguished and senior colleague, Justice Suryakant, for the success of this Lok Adalat.